Hello and welcome. As a specialist in modern hospitality operations, I've really seen how data and smart strategy come together to create those truly exceptional guest experiences. I'm so pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to this online learning journey. Together, we're going to explore how to build the kind of lasting client relationships that are truly the bedrocks of success in our amazing industry.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to talk about looking beyond just a single transaction. Then, we'll dive right into what's called the lifetime value equation. After that, we'll unpack the 4 essential pillars of loyalty, and we'll wrap it all up by getting strategic about how we invest in those lasting client relationships.
So, let's kick things off with Section 1, Beyond a Single Transaction. We are talking about a major shift in thinking here, moving away from just focusing on short-term revenue and toward building long-term relationships. See, in today's hospitality world, real sustainable growth isn't about squeezing every last dollar out of one stay or one dinner. Nope, it's about cultivating that entire relationship with a guest over the long haul.
And the difference between these two ways of thinking is just absolutely critical. On one hand, you've got the transactional mindset. It's all about the now. It's tactical. But on the other hand, and this is where we want to be, is the relational mindset. This is strategic. It's about playing the long game, creating genuinely meaningful experiences that build the kind of trust and brand loyalty that actually lasts a lifetime.
Okay, that brings us right into Section 2, the lifetime value equation. This is all about how we measure the true worth of that client relationship. So, if we're focusing on the relationship, how do we actually put a number on it? Well, this leads us to a core metric that guides pretty much all of our strategic decisions: lifetime value.
Lifetime value, or LTV as you'll hear it called, is honestly one of the most powerful concepts you're going to master. And it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's the total value a guest brings to your brand over their entire lifetime as a customer. And let me tell you, viewing your guests through this lens, it changes everything. It pushes you to make decisions that prioritize the long-term health of the relationship over any quick short-term profit.
And here's where it gets really interesting. A guest's value goes way, way beyond what they spend directly with you. I mean, think about it. A truly loyal, high LTV guest, they also bring in referrals, which saves you a ton in marketing costs. They build up your reputation with fantastic reviews. They become your biggest fans, your brand advocates. And on top of all that, they're actually less costly to serve because you don't need to constantly persuade them with special deals. They're already sold on you.
All right, let's move on to Section 3, the 4 pillars of loyalty. Think of these as the essential building blocks for creating that lasting client value. So, we get what LTV is now, but the big question is, how do we actually build it? Well, it all comes down to these 4 foundational pillars that are absolutely essential for nurturing the trust and loyalty we've been talking about. Our first pillar is consistency. And folks, this one is non-negotiable. Every single time you deliver a positive, high-quality experience, you're reinforcing a guest's belief that you are dependable. When they know, without a shadow of a doubt, that they can count on you for a certain level of quality, it just removes all the guesswork. It makes their decision to come back to you the easiest, simplest choice they'll make all day. Next up, pillar number 2 is understanding. This is where we go beyond just providing a service and start building a real partnership. When you take the time to learn a guest's preferences, their favorite table, their travel quirks, what they're allergic to, and you anticipate those needs, you transform a simple transaction into a deeply personal experience. That's the moment you stop being just a service provider and you become their trusted host.
Our third pillar is communication. I mean, it makes sense, right? Any relationship needs interaction to thrive. But, and this is really key, this communication has to provide genuine value. It can't just be a sales pitch all the time. We're talking about sharing useful info, expressing sincere appreciation, maybe offering an exclusive tip. That kind of thoughtful, relevant contact is what keeps the connection alive and keeps your brand right at the top of their mind.
And our final pillar is patience. This one can be tough, but it is so critical. Real trust isn't built overnight. It's earned, slowly, through one positive experience after another. You simply cannot rush it with aggressive sales tactics. Guests can spot that a mile away. They value authenticity. So as future leaders, if you just focus on delivering consistent value without expecting an immediate return, I promise you, loyalty will grow naturally. It always does. Okay, on to our final section. Section 4, investing in lasting relationships. This is where we get practical and talk about a strategic approach to how we use our resources. Because let's be real, while we value every single client, we also have to be smart with our most limited resources, our time and our energy.
Which leads us to a really important, maybe even tough question. Are all client relationships equal in value? And the straightforward answer is no, they're not. Some clients, just by their frequent business, their influence, or their incredible referrals, will simply have a greater potential for lifetime value. And recognizing that isn't being unfair, it's being strategic.
So here's a way to kind of visualize that strategic approach. Now, the key here isn't to neglect any client. Let me be clear, excellent service has to be the standard for absolutely everyone, full stop. Instead, it's about thoughtfully putting a bit more focus, more of your relationship-building efforts on those high-value clients. That's where your investment of time and energy is going to have the biggest possible long-term impact.
So, the most crucial point to take away from all this is simple. What we've been talking about isn't just a tactic you can pull out of a playbook. It's a core philosophy. Prioritizing relationships over individual transactions, that is the fundamental mindset that will set you apart and give you the tools to build lasting connections and drive real, sustainable growth.
And you know, this quote just brings it all home perfectly. Over time, these strong relationships generate sustainable growth and reinforce the organization's reputation for excellence. That's the end game right there. Strong relationships are the engine of growth, and they're what build and protect a powerful reputation for excellence in our industry.
So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with one last question to carry with you as you move forward in your incredible careers. The principles we've covered today, consistency, understanding, communication, and patience, these are your tools. The real question is, how will you use them to build the relationships that become your professional legacy?